Verma here, and today I want to talk to you about marketing strategies for selling your home. This video is more for sellers to know what are some of the different strategies that you can use when you're selling your home. And realtors out there, most of them, they focus on maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 different things to help sell the house. I use about 37 different strategies to sell my houses. And the reason why I do that is I don't want to leave any stone unturned when I'm selling the houses that I list. And I want to give absolutely maximum exposure, give more advantage to my houses that I'm listing than anything else on the market in terms of exposure, and showcase them in the best possible light. So instead of going over all those 37 strategies, I just thought that today, for the sake of time, I'm just going to touch on 4 strategies that are a little bit unconventional, that I don't think a lot of realtors really use, and I think they're leaving a lot of equity for their sellers on the table when they don't go a little bit outside the box and don't really do some active marketing rather than just passive marketing, like putting on the MLS or just doing an open house with some signs. Those are, decent ways to market, but I think that in today's world you can do so much more and so much more to get you the highest possible price. So let me go over those 4 strategies, and if you have any questions, you can obviously reach me. The first strategy that I want to talk about is social media. And a lot of the agents in today's market, they are using social media very, very minimally. And I don't think everybody understands the power of social media in today's world. A lot of the people don't really feel comfortable going on the camera and talking about the house or showcasing it on different social media channels. I personally feel that you have to get maximum exposure for the house on all different platforms as possible. Obviously, you want to target based on the house and who the ideal buyer is for that house. You need to profile. So the first thing that we do, our team basically gets together and figures out, okay, what is the profile of the buyer for the house that we're marketing. And once we know that, then we try to strategize a social media campaign around that and really target different kind of ads. We do a lot of posts before it goes on the market, when it's on the market, to attract buyers from all different areas, all different parts of the country, even the world. So let me dive a little bit deeper into that and just explain to you what we do in the social media. So it all starts with, before we put the listing on the market, we want to create some excitement about the house, and we do a pre-marketing, like a pre-MLS introduction to the house, and we do it with Facebook Live. We do a lot of small snippets of the house via video. Most of the people these days, they consume content through video, and if you're not doing video, it's just you are not capitalizing on one of the strongest mediums that is out there, and that's the way most people are using, that they're consuming content these days, is through video. So you have to use that, and I hire the best photographer, the best videographers to showcase the house in the best possible light and give the viewers a chance to glimpse it even before we do the full-fledged marketing. So that's the first thing that we do, is we try to give a teaser out, and then we do later on. My goal is to flood the social media when it is on the market to a lot of different channels. Obviously, you have to figure out what is the best medium and the frequency for those, and what kind of ads and campaigns depending on the house. But that's a huge way that you can get the word out for the house, and get a lot of prospective buyers to come and take a look at the house. The second strategy that I want to talk about today is something that I don't think a lot of agents or even sellers have even thought about, and that is, if the house is vacant, and if it's the right house, there is an opportunity to advertise and have the ability to maybe rent it for a short period of time. If there is somebody who really likes it and who would want to stay in that house, you can do an Airbnb on that particular house, just to give the buyers an idea of what it would be to live in a house like that. A lot of the times the buyers, they like the house, but they've just been in the house for maybe 20-30 minutes, and they have to make a decision that is huge. So it doesn't give them enough time sometimes on the comfort level to really experience the house, especially if it's in the higher price range, like $5-10 million or even more. I think there is an opportunity for sellers to try to have that medium available for the serious buyers, to have a trial period for maybe 1 or 2 days where they can experience the house, live in it, and see how it feels. So that's another opportunity that is very unconventional. It's not being used by a lot of people, but it's a great strategy if you're looking to market it. Give that option that, if you like, you can rent it out for a short duration to experience the house and see how it feels. Obviously, you want to structure it in a way that you do have a serious buyer before you do that, so that when you do have it on the Airbnb, it's worth the time and the effort. The third strategy that I want to talk about today for marketing is creating emotional stories for the house. What do I mean by that? There are so many houses on the market. What does your house really stand for, and what is the story behind that house? People are not just necessarily looking to buy bricks and sticks and just have a house. They want to know, what is the story behind it? How will it feel? How will somebody living in that house raise a family? Or what is it enticing about the backyard or the neighborhood? So creating a storyline for every house that you sell is so important, because that gets the buyers emotionally involved. They can see themselves living in the house through that story, and it gives them a framework to imagine and feel that. So it's very, very important to create a very impactful storyline for each house that you're selling, and creating the storyline using the elements that the house offers, the neighborhood offers. That's really key in selling any property and getting the highest possible price. So the fourth strategy that I want to talk about today is, don't just market the house. Market the neighborhood, the city, the community that the house is in. It's not just the house that people are buying. They're buying the whole experience of living in the city, in that neighborhood. And there are so many things that the neighborhood and the community offers. You want to include that in the marketing material when you do market the house. Because ultimately, people want to experience not just how they feel living in the house, but how it would be to actually be a part of that community. Whether it's schools, whether it's the shops, the restaurants, the yoga studio, or the nature trails around there, or having access to maybe some companies close by, universities, colleges. That all adds in, and marketing it with those components in there really creates a very strong impact. So keep that in mind when you're, marketing the house. Also to include some video, some footage, some pictures of the neighborhood, the community, and also include that in the storyline that I spoke about on the third strategy, is to, make sure that you're including the community and the neighborhood, so that the buyers can get a feel for what it would be like to live in that community. So those were the top, four strategies. Again, like I said, I use 37 different strategies when I'm selling the house, and these are just four. And there are several others that are really interesting and cool that I would love to share. If you're interested in hearing more about the strategies, just give me a call, and I would love to share what those strategies are and how we get the maximum exposure for the house. Another quick thing before we end this video is, I am part of the American Dream TV show. They selected me as one of the power players to showcase Silicon Valley. So I have the ability to showcase really cool homes in the Silicon Valley that I'm listing, that I feel are really cool, on the show. And one of the houses that I just recently listed in Woodside, I'm going to be showcasing that very soon. So if you are interested in having a house showcased in the American Dream TV show, give me a call and we can discuss it and see if it's the right fit for you.